Hello, Hannah the Suburban Witch here, and today I'm doing an unboxing video of psychic reading cards. In today's video, you'll see me unwrap this new deck, have a look at the cards, get a general idea on what the theme and the feel of each of those cards are. I'll comment on the card quality and the packaging as well, and just some initial thoughts on how they might read. Stay tuned because I will do a proper review at a later date once I've had time to properly play with the cards. If you're new to my channel, I'm Hannah the Suburban Witch, an intuitive tarot reader and astrologer, and I love bringing all of my witchy spiritual content to you here on YouTube. I release a video every Wednesday, and if you'd like to see more of me, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, and my website as well, suburbanwitchery.com. Alright guys, so I have a new deck to share with you today. This isn't a tarot deck, these are reading cards, so they're more similar to an oracle card, and I'm going to have a look through them and give you a good vibe for how they read and how they feel, so you can know if it's the right sort of deck for you. Now the back of this deck says, unlock your intuitive abilities. The world is full of signs and symbols from the spirit realm waiting for you to interpret their clues. Discover the messages of angels, spirit guides, colours, symbols, and spiritual realms through 36 cards of higher wisdom and divine guidance. Navigate your life's path, remove limiting obstacles, divine your true love, develop your clairvoyance, and heighten your healing senses. The power is in your hands. And it says at the bottom here, Debbie Malone is an acclaimed and highly respected psychic, clairvoyant, psychometry expert, and spirit medium. And this is through Rockpool Publishing, which is an Australian publishing company as well. So as we know, first things first, I'm actually going to give it a little cleanse. Now today I'm showing you an alternative method, which is using a selenite disc. Okay, so this one here. Now at the moment in the witchy community, there are a lot of people getting up in arms about people calling this particular crystal selenite. It is from the selenite family, although it is technically satin spar, which I think is perfectly fine to call selenite. That's the colloquial term. So selenite is what I'm calling it, but it is satin spar if you're interested. Now I simply place that like this, and I've actually had it sitting like this for a few minutes, so that sort of just pulls off any of the energy from the postman, anyone who's handled it along the way, makes it nice and fresh for me to open. Alright, so I'm going to open up the plastic now and we can have a look at what it looks like inside. So let's start with the box itself. Pretty typical box that comes with most of these card decks. It's simply just got the side catch with a small magnet in there, so it latches quite nicely. So we can open that up and let's have a look what's on the inside. Firstly, this artwork's really cool. It's very vibrant, very metaphysical is the word that comes through. And we've got a lovely large guidebook here as well. So that's going to be handy. I actually really love, I do have another deck from Rockpool Publishing, which is the Saints and Mystics deck, and they have, it's a very similar size in terms of cards and this and the guidebook as well. And I love the way that they put it out. So just as a quick flick through, if I can show you. So it's really good because you get a good 2-page spread on each card, and this is not a small book, so you're getting quite a lot of information. So that's fantastic. Do like. We get a little download their app. Then we have the cards in here, so we can see the back of those cards. I'm going to flip them out. Okay, so one thing that's different is when I went to flip it out, the whole thing came out. That I guess it depends if you want to keep that little card holder in there. You might be better off gluing it or sticking that in somehow, but some people don't feel the need to. I personally like them, so I'm probably going to do that. Good way to keep your cards protected. They got their little slip there. I'll slip that off. Oh, this is always the exciting bit. Actually, okay, I'm a weirdo. If you're somebody that likes to smell books, I find things like this have a similar smell. It's kind of like how I like the smell of petrol and other things that you're probably not supposed to like the smell of, like when you blow out a candle or blow out a match. I really like those things. This reminds me, that's almost like the smell of paint, or, you know, highlighters, textures, permanent markers. I like all of those. All right, I'm going to give them a shuffle, just see how they feel. So they are a large card. So you can see in my hand, that's pretty stretched out for me. It's not super comfortable in terms of holding it that way. I found that with a few other bigger decks as well. And sometimes I actually switch them to a vertical shuffle like this. Not as, it doesn't feel as intuitive to do it that way, but it works, it gets the job done. So let's have a look at the back of this card a little bit closer. So you can see they're quite glossy as well, which is a good or bad thing, it depends to you. So glossy cards I find shuffle easier, but then when you're photographing them, if you are doing readings for people online, it can be a little hard to capture the image properly. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at a few of these cards. The first one here is Abundance. We can have a look there. So it looks like the images in the cards are all people. First things first, what I absolutely love already on the second and third cards, people of color, fantastic. That is, oh, sings to my soul, because there is not enough diversity out there in a lot of decks that we see. So when I see it, I think it should be uplifted, and that's a fantastic bonus for this deck. So we've got two there. One is Angel. And that is great because angels are so whitewashed. Why do we think angels are all white? I mean, angels don't actually look like this at all anyway. They're terrifying if you go off the biblical standard. However, this is fantastic. Good work. I'm happy with that, Debbie Malone. You've done well there. Baby, oh, I love that. I love that image. Celebration. So some of the words we've got: abundance, baby, angel, celebration, chakras, rainbows, infinity, juggler, loved ones in spirit. Okay, so these sorts of messages could be really, really great for, you know, who is trying to contact me? Okay, baby, maybe you got a baby on the way, right? Who's trying to contact me? You might get this loved ones in spirit, right? Or what is this message trying to tell me? You know, there's some really great ways you could read with these. Meditation, mirror, butterflies, music, nature, numbers, phoenix. I love that one. That's the one that's on the cover. Hands. Okay, you know, you might get interesting answers. You know, how am I supposed to find out more about this? It might be use your hands more. Psychometry. Remember, Debbie Malone is a psychometry artist. That is people who can hold something in their hand and tune into the energy, the psychic energy, and tell you about it. So we've got some really interesting words that are coming through here. I haven't seen a lot of these in a lot of decks. House, white light, coins, and that's another one. Coins. How is my loved one trying to contact me? Coins. Maybe you're finding coins everywhere. This is really great for if you are trying to tap into your mediumship abilities or your psychic abilities, and you're not quite sure. You want some clarification or a tool to help you get there and get to those messages. I feel like these are going to be really, really good for people in that area. Doorways, eagle, epiphany, and feathers. Fantastic. So we don't actually have a lot of people in the cards. So I love that the ones that are biggest or most represented or take up the most of the card is this beautiful, beautiful dark-skinned lady. So for me, that is fantastic. Now, the pictures on the cards, they're not too crowded. There is not too much going on. You really get the direct message, which is a good thing. It doesn't feel like there are too many symbols that you're going to have to start pulling apart. So if we think of something like the Shadowscapes deck, there is so much detail in those cards. You could stare at it for hours and still find new things, which can be a pro and a con. I find sometimes some of the simpler ones are great for actually allowing your psychic clairs to start to kick in and start bringing some messages alongside the cards. So using your cards almost like a doorway or a portal to further psychic messages. And that, with this being psychic reading cards, is a really good way that they obviously work together, and it's probably what they've been designed for. So when we go back to the guidebook, we can see there is a few different options for card layouts, that it gives you some suggestions of how you can read with these cards and a way that you can dedicate the cards to your practice as well before it delves straight into the meanings that the author has given to each of these cards. So again, with any form of reading cards, tarot cards, oracle cards, whatever it is that you're using, you can go off what the author says, or you can use your own intuition. There is no right or wrong way. I find a mix of both is perfect for getting to that true core message. So I hope this video has helped you and given you some insight into this card deck. I can't wait to show you more as I learn and use them a little bit further along in my practice with them. And I'll make sure to bring a review video and link it back to this one in that time. As always, I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will chat to you next time. Bye.